This week, we're just talking a little football. We also have player rankings at the end of the video for everyone who's making that playoff push. If you have any questions about players, go ahead and drop them in the comments. If you have disagreements as well, go ahead and also let us know what type of content you would like to see in the off season. Justin and I have some ideas, but we'd also love to hear what you guys would like to see too. Welcome back, Tribe. Thanks for joining us another week. We appreciate all the support you've been giving us. We're reaching for 200 subs. We're swinging for the fences. I'm officially back in the studio off of the COVID vacation. I faked it the whole time. Joke's on. But I'm back. Happy to be back. Appreciate Justin holding down the fort. I was actually kind of sad to see no one be like, damn, the videos aren't the same without you, Greg.
Yeah. I think we reached our all-time high on views without you, so they didn't miss you at all.
Man. I know. Respect.
No one actually watches the video, which is the beauty. They just look at the words on the screen.
I love it.
I don't even know if they know you existed.
We don't care, bro. We just want those views, baby.
Yeah.
You don't have to like us. You just have to watch the video.
It's not true at all.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I don't know. Just like the video. See if we care.
No, that hurts my... You're going to start some more internet beef, Greg?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I guess we never got to talk about our internet beef.
Let's move on.
Leave that for we'll leave that for another time, bro. We may or may not have had some beef with another channel.
Stop saying we. It was all you.
Yeah, I don't know. We came through. We may have started some beef. It's what it is. What it is.
Say we. It was
we stepped up. Anyways, best intro in the game. We'll leave it at that. Let's talk football. Let's talk. Please leave this in the episode.
Dude, all right, just go. I'll consider it.
Let's talk some football. In the running back video, we talked about our Super Bowl picks, but now we move on to individual accomplishments. League MVP. We both have some players in mind. Justin, who is your league MVP?
Oh, it's the GOAT. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Dude, he's just incredible.
And our mustache MVP. This season's mustache MVP was Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah.
Maybe the mustache MVP.
I agree. But I grew out my mustache just so I could be like Aaron. So
has it been working for you?
I do feel better when I wake up. I've grown a couple inches. When I throw things into the trash can, it's more accurate.
Where'd you grow those inches, Justin?
My toes.
Nice.
Exclusively toe inches.
Nice.
But yeah, he's just been absolutely on fire. Their team's 9-3. They shouldn't be 9-3. They ended up drafting a backup quarterback with their most it's so hard to get into. It should have been their most valuable pick, but then they just fucked it up and it was their least valuable pick. So I don't know what to say about that. That's just some poor GM, but he has been on fire. 3,400 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions, 2 of those coming in one game. He's absolutely unstoppable. The balls he's throwing, they're fucking perfect. Every time he drops back, it looks like something magical is going to happen, and almost all of the time, it is magical.
Do you care about the rating, the passer rating number? To me, that statistic means absolutely nothing.
It really depends, but I feel like a lot of the time it is a little skewed.
His rating looks pretty fat this season, though.
Yeah. Who's your MVP?
My MVP, also Aaron Rodgers, to be honest. I just think they need to give it to him while they can. Aaron Rodgers has been so good for the game of football. Just like one of the most exciting players to watch since he's come out as a bona fide superstar. And I don't know, it feels right this season to give it to him. That's my opinion. But do we also have the same runner-up player?
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. He's been insane. He has 31 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That's crazy.
Do you have a dark horse MVP candidate?
My dark horse MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Maybe like Derrick Henry, just because they don't ever give it to running backs.
True.
If Christian McCaffrey can't win it when he is single-handedly being an offense, then I don't think a running back will ever win it.
I agree.
I think
my dark horse is Josh Allen.
Oh, you're just saying that because he's on the squad.
True. But I also do feel like he's been playing phenomenal football. And the Bills are winning a lot of games. But definitely doesn't deserve it more than those two.
Yeah. Who's someone you expected would be in the running and has fallen out completely? There's one name.
I feel like, it's probably the same person, Lamar Jackson.
Yes. That's so disappointing.
He's also been super disappointing for fantasy football too.
Yeah.
I mean, you took him to be QB1 to be like, oh dang, I can either get Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. I think I'd rather have Lamar Jackson, and that's like the caliber of player you were expecting, and it is not what you got.
Absolutely not. I wonder what he is on the season.
16. I was looking at it earlier.
Oh my God.
I actually picked him up off the waivers in one of my leagues.
I mean, if it's a small league, that's where he belongs in some cases.
Yeah. Here, I actually have an interesting QB start sit for you.
Oh, okay. Hit me.
Round 1 of the playoffs. Would you rather start Lamar Jackson? I have to look at his matchup. Or my other option, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers taking on the Detroit Lions. Lamar Jackson. I can tell you who he's playing right
Browns.
now. The Cleveland Browns. Would you rather play Lamar Jackson against the Cleveland Browns or Aaron Rodgers against the Detroit Lions? Not week 1, round 1.
That was such a layup. I feel like you came with a softball there. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers versus the Lions. You got anything better for me?
Yeah, okay. All right.
That's a pretty weak question, dog.
I guess, I don't know. I kind of was going to say, I wasn't going to kind of say, I also said Aaron Rodgers. I have Aaron Rodgers in several of my leagues.
Oh, was that just on your fantasy team?
Yeah. That was a little self-indulgent.
Oh my gosh.
Here's one for you. Here's a tougher one for you.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson against the Cleveland Browns or Josh Allen against the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Lamar Jackson. I don't trust anybody against that Steelers defense. I got a good one for you.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers versus the Lions or Russell Wilson versus the Jets?
I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers against the Lions. That's kind of a rivalry game. Him versus Matthew Stafford. I just love that matchup dynamic. And the Seahawks I think are getting more to a balanced offense now that Chris Carson is back too. So I'm a side with the GOAT on that one. Who'd you pick?
Fair enough. Probably the same. You're right though. That the Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers matchup is legendary. I love when Matthew Stafford's back there playing safety, just picking off Rodgers. Then Stafford gets a chance, and Rodgers is out there playing nickel, takes one to the house.
Back in my day, you played offense and defense on the field.
Oh, I know.
And we didn't pass the ball. Yeah, there were no forward passes.
You kids call it. You talk about Pee Wee?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like 1930s. We didn't wear helmets.
Dude, just some leather caps.
Yeah. The leather caps are kind of sick. I say bring them back.
Bring them back. Yeah. Bring them back. What if you weren't
those
issues? I feel like you couldn't even afford a leather cap half the time back in the day because you're working like 6 jobs and playing football.
True.
People are probably making them out of like cardboard bags and shit, trying to pass them off to refs.
How you doing through this Great Depression? I'm league MVP, but I'm MVP in the league, but still hitting the factory hard.
Damn. I'll see you in 4 years. I just got drafted.
The steel dust makes me more slick on the field.
Dude,
I don't know.
I feel bad for any of those 49ers or Steelers just breathing in that stuff all day, every day.
True, man.
Then you got to go take the field. I mean, they're chain smoking cigarettes in the locker room. It can't get much worse. Joe Namath was out here chain smoking cigs in the locker room.
Hey, and he's still alive.
Good for him.
Hey, if that math adds up to me. Smoke cigarettes, you live.
Flawless evidence there.
All right, let's proceed. Let's go on to our value picks at the wide receiver position on the season. That player that
elaborate.
please allow me to. So for our value wide receivers, this is with the framing in mind of you either got them late in the draft. I guess maybe not necessarily. Just their return on investment has just proven to be giving you dividends. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. But whatever. You know what I mean.
Just that player, man of words.
Yeah. A real wordsmither. A player that you maybe got off the waiver that's now made its way into your starting lineup week in and week out. You know, a player sort of like that's you, Justin.
You were looking for me? I dropped the ball. Yeah. You know, when you talk so much, I was just expecting you to just keep
Fair
going. Yeah.
Stop listening.
My player doesn't even fit your description, but I'd still consider him a value. And that would be Keenan Allen. In our league, he was drafted 41st by yours truly. He was projected to be the 50th overall pick, which is just absurd. Thinking about that he is now a top 5 wide receiver. He's currently the 4th position rank in our league, PPR. To get someone at that value, that should have been a first round pick, honestly, with some of the wide receivers that were going, if not a first round, an early second round. And you ended up getting him in your 3rd or 4th round. That's absolutely absurd. I think you could not have done better with Keenan Allen, and hopefully the rest of your team wasn't hurt all season or just complete trash. Because if you had Keenan Allen, you should have been in the playoffs, but we can't all win.
Justin Herbert was also huge for Keenan Allen.
Absolutely. Yeah. The doctors, the Chargers doctors put the team on their back, sabotage Tyrod Taylor.
Dude, such a sad story for him.
Honestly, anyways, I like Tyrod Taylor.
I do too. I think he's a decent player who's had definitely some tough breaks in the unforgiving National Football League.
Is it Tyrod or Tyrod? Or both?
I think it's Tyrod, actually. Okay. I think there was like a season of Hard Knocks where they addressed that, and I did not learn my lesson.
Yeah, I'm glad we just fucked it up for a solid 30 seconds.
I have yes. So my first value player is kind of similar in makeup to the structure of Keenan Allen, where he is obviously a star wide receiver, but you were just able to get him later in rounds. And mine is Stefon Diggs, who has been – I was looking at his numbers, bro. His numbers, his consistency is insane. He literally has not had less than double-digit points in a single game this season. And consistency at the wide receiver position is so rare and so needed. Stefon Diggs is not like necessarily a player that you intended to draft as a wide receiver one, but that is what his value has been this entire year.
Pick 68 in our draft.
Wow.
That's low.
That's very low, considering where he is now. He's like, I think he's ranked wide receiver 15, but I will take his consistency any day over someone like I was gonna say Michael Thomas, but I feel like that's an unfair pick considering he was not available most of the season. I also would probably prefer to have Michael Thomas.
Diontae Johnson, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a great example. Yep.
Chris Godwin.
Definitely.
I completely agree. It's honestly just a steal that he fell so far when you look back on it.
No doubt. And I guess we have a little bit of bias because we're referencing our league, but I feel like across leagues that I'm in, he was drafted a lot lower than where he should have been.
I feel like our league drafted pretty well, other than one person taking a quarterback named Lamar Jackson incredibly early.
Oh, yeah. And man, oh, man, did we predict that would be the worst team at the very beginning of the season.
Good stuff.
Of geniuses. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't help that you also draft Leonard Fournette and Michael Thomas. Your team is bound to just be in the dumps after that.
So true.
I would have projected a 1-win season.
Yeah, I would think as well. I would speculate.
All right, I'll move on. My next value wide receiver is Brandon Cooks, who I drafted. I'm just talking about my players. This is a great segment, Greg.
Yeah, dude, it really is.
I drafted him 89th, and he has turned into one of the better wide receivers in the league. He's position ranked 26. But if you look at since Bill O'Brien's been gone, he's had double-digit points every single game except for one where he had 9.9. The beginning of the season was a little rocky. I think that's all Bill O'Brien's fault. Brandon Cooks has always been a model of consistency when he plays. It's just a matter of, is he going to play? And this year, he has not been hurt, and it's been amazing. I think even with now that Will Fuller's out, who is another great story, by the way, someone who always gets hurt and didn't get hurt, but it could have been taking a little bit of the juice, but we'll not focus on that. If
he didn't, he was unaware of it.
If he doesn't get hurt next year, is it because of that? Or if he gets hurt next year, you think he didn't get hurt because of that?
It's definitely the first place I would go.
All right, fair enough.
It does seem a bit suspicious that he hadn't gotten hurt. I think the NFL is looking into that because of it.
Hey, that makes sense. Brandon Cooks, though, actually, great player.
In our draft, you took Brandon Cooks right when I was like starting to eye him up. I was like, you know what? I think Brandon Cooks is the player I want next. And then by the time he got to you, he was gone. So I was definitely disappointed with that.
I think I did that for a lot of your picks, but it turned out all right for you.
Yeah, it sure has. Maybe some of those really benefited me in the long run.
Definitely. I remember when I drafted Julian Edelman thinking that was going to be good. Then he had
sad.
He had like a
you should have kept that to yourself, bro.
It's all right. He had like a 25-point game, and I immediately knew I should have traded him, but I was like, I'll wait 1 week.
What about Alshon Jeffrey, man?
Oh man, that was a scoop I had faith in. It's like that story's not done though. We're still writing those chapters. Maybe Jalen Hurts to Alshon Jeffrey is the next Drew Brees to Alvin Kamara.
Dang, that's very wishful.
Yeah, a little bit.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
I guess I'll move on to my next value pick, which is Corey Davis, a player that has pretty much been boom or bust his entire tenure in the NFL. Things were starting to look a bit up for him towards the end of last season, once A.J. Brown had kind of risen and Corey Davis wasn't necessarily taking on that main coverage anymore and being more complimentary piece. He's really benefited from that role, and he's had this season to fully develop into it. And you probably got him on your waivers. I know this is a player that I have on my team and a player that I've played that dance with many years and have been burned many times by Corey Davis. I'm sorry. I was trying to see where I added him from the waivers in mid-September. So definitely he's been super consistent this whole year, other than his fat goose egg in a week that I needed him to not do that. He's gotten double-digit points, at least 5 targets in every single game. And he has a great playoff schedule. So phenomenal value for Corey Davis because you added him off the waivers.
Are we just talking about our teams?
I got some more players that aren't on my team.
I do too. I guess we'll get into those, huh?
I actually, now that I'm looking at my list, since I'm in 3 leagues, only one of these is a player that I don't have on any of those teams.
You're a madman.
Actually, no. 2. There were 2. I take it back. So half of my picks aren't on my teams.
One of these players on my list I don't own.
Oh, okay.
I only have 4. I'll get into them now then. Robbie Anderson.
Oh, nice.
He has lifted the curse of the Jets from him. Weeks 1 through 7, he was on a tear, had double-digit points every single week. Week 8, he had 9.8. Followed that up with a 15-point game. And then week 10, he had his lowest scoring game at 6. But these past 2 weeks, 12, 19, he's back. He was drafted 130th in our league and then dropped before the season.
Well,
yeah, not great. And then he's the 16th wide receiver in our rankings, or in the ESPN position rankings.
Not in our rankings, though.
No, not in our rankings. A little bit lower. But he's number 1 in our hearts.
True.
Number 2 in yours, right next to Frank Gore.
Oh, no doubt, baby. I'm a Frank Gore fan. Also, I'm so glad if you played Frank Gore this weekend. I didn't get to say this in our running back video. I'm so glad if you played Frank Gore this weekend. Fuck you for playing Frank Gore, thinking that he was going to get you like 3 tutties against the Raiders. Suck my nuts. Frank Gore's an old man. You should never feel good about playing Frank Gore or any Jets running back for that matter. That's my 2 cents on Jets running backs. Frank Gore being in those crosshairs.
You sound like a bitter Raiders fan who almost lost to the Jets. Derek Carr's trash. I'm defending all the people right now who started Frank Gore because that was asinine. Well, you just attacked the number 3 all-time rushing yards leader. He's a great man.
I'm not
and an even better father. Manhood.
Hey, I don't know that to be true or false.
I made that part up.
Frank Gore beats kids is the headline.
Bro, chill out.
Full quote. Justin thinks Frank Gore is a great father.
Dude, chill, dog.
All right, my bad. That was a bit much.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
Do you have more value wide receivers, or is it my turn?
I got one more, but you can go.
Okay. I'm just going to fire off my last 2. I kind of don't really feel like going too in-depth with them. But I have T. Higgins and Diontae Johnson. I think there was a lot of hype with Diontae Johnson coming into the season, but you definitely got him in later rounds, or in my instance, I picked him up off the waivers. Some people dropped him because of his injuries. But when he's played, he's been explosive. So I definitely wanted to add him on my team just because I knew if he's playing, he's going to get a bunch of targets. And I had like double-digit targets in pretty much every single game he's played, which is absolutely ridiculous, especially on a stacked Steelers wide receiver core. Same story with T. Higgins. Just been a phenomenal breakout player this year. Been super consistent, and he's a player you got off your waivers. Definitely sucks Joe Burrow is not the quarterback anymore. I should say that. But on the season, T. Higgins was a phenomenal scoop.
Yeah, definitely. I'll stick with the rookies. My next one is Justin Jefferson. Another person you scooped off waivers or drafted really late at the end of your draft. Believe it or not, the same team that drafted and dropped Robbie Anderson also dropped Justin Jefferson. It's a heartbreaking story. They're still in the playoffs, though, so they'll get over it. But Justin Jefferson has been phenomenal. He immediately stepped up onto the big stage. He produced in college at LSU. He's doing the same thing now on the Vikings, almost outscoring Adam Theilen on a weekly basis at this point. Who knows if he'll ever overtake him in the rankings, but his talent is second to none.
Couldn't agree more. Justin Jefferson's been balling out. I also love his dance.
Yeah, me too.
Apparently that has a name, but
oh, I forgot it already.
We sound like a bunch of old dudes.
Yeah.
Apparently that dance has a name, dude. Oh yeah, I looked it up like on TikTok or something.
Yeah, bro. Fuck, what's the name? Yeah.
Did they reference it in Pat McAfee?
I don't know.
Pat McAfee should not be my cultural news source reference. So I might need to how do you Google search a dance?
Oh, it's the Griddy.
Oh, the Griddy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've seen it before. Like he didn't make that shit up.
Yeah. I definitely hadn't seen that shit before.
I'm cultured, Greg. Don't come at me.
Yeah, that's true. Our cultural news reporter, Justin Hall, he is leaving us for NPR in the off season to write a cultural column about a full 20 piece on the Griddy for NPR.
My second article will be about Frank Gore's fatherhood.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the cognitive dissonance of football and fatherhood. Title of Justin's NPR article.
Dude, bro, we got to send some cease and desists. That's a pretty good title. That shit's gonna come out soon.
I know, someone's gonna make that. That's us. That's a tribe called Fantasy Intellectual Property.
Copyright. I sent it in already.
Hell yeah. Should we move on to our disappointment wide? Did you have any more value picks?
No, let's get on to these busts.
All right. Okay. I think I'm just gonna rapid fire mine off because I don't really feel like or what do you think?
It's up to you, man. Live your life how you want. Do what your
heart
tells you.
I'm just gonna list mine off and kind of go through them real quick. One out of I got on my disappointments for the year, OBJ, just because of his even before injury, he was kind of disappointing you. I definitely thought that he was going to turn things around, especially during the playoff schedule portion of his season. Obviously that did not work out with a torn ACL. You can't predict those injuries, but sucks nonetheless. Next up, I have Michael Thomas, also dealt with injuries and I think other drama too. You draft him in the first round. It always sucks to draft a wide receiver in the first round. Strategically, I can see it taking him over someone like a Kenyon Drake or something. I don't know. Kenyon Drake was going in first rounds. So in that scenario, I would maybe want to take Michael Thomas over Kenyon Drake. But on the season, been disappointing. Another player, Hollywood Brown. Huge amount of excitement for him coming into the season, especially with Lamar Jackson coming off of his massive MVP season. Lamar Jackson just is not the passer that people want him to develop into. He's going to make plays with his legs, and Hollywood Brown has not seen success because of that. Did have a touchdown tonight, though, against the Cowboys. And last, our overlapping player, DJ Chark. I think there was a lot of excitement with him and Minshew coming into the season. And between injuries and just inconsistency at quarterback, it just hadn't not panned out.
Yeah, DJ Chark really hurt. I drafted him in a couple of leagues because I had him last year. And he's just such a great talent. So it's actually just so sad to see terrible quarterback play ruin someone's season. Very similar to what happened with Odell. I think that just Kevin Stefanski's offense wants to run the ball. Baker Mayfield does not take as many risks as he should with OBJ and Jarvis Landry, and I think that showed in the games that he played. But I'll move on to my list, and I got two names back-to-back that are damn near the same player, and that's A.J. Green and T.Y. Hilton. Two names of the past, two relics out there that used to be shining, but now they're covered in mud, waiting to be undiscovered once again. Because
I have a question for you.
Yeah, hit me.
Who would you rather start this week? T.Y. Hilton against the Raiders or A.J. Green against the Cowboys?
T.Y. Hilton's on the comeback. A.J. Green's in La La Land, and he doesn't have a quarterback.
These rankings could have also answered that question for me.
Fair enough.
I also agree with you.
I think that T.Y. Hilton hasn't really lost it. I think it's Phillip Rivers' fault. I think that A.J. Green has definitely lost it with all the injury he's had. But my last player was DJ Chark, like you mentioned. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think that DJ Chark at least has some hope for the future, unlike AJ Green or T.Y. Hilton. I don't know. T.Y. Hilton could end up helping win some people some championships. Might be the pro GM move of the year, honestly.
Yeah, that's honestly true. People probably dropped him. They scooped him up. Or they held on to him long enough to see it work out in the end.
Damn, we do this 3 weeks in the future. We might be saying T.Y. Hilton wide receiver value pick.
Oh, you're not wrong.
We'll see, though.
All right, man. Let's hop into the best wide receivers. We're talking the wide receivers you took that either no one believed in and they went crazy, or that you knew was going to be the safe pick at the top of the draft, at the top of the leaderboards. You scooped him up, and now you're winning, and you're laughing to the bank. Who you got first, Greg?
First on my list, a player that has been a staple of two of my fantasy football teams this entire season is Davante Adams. A player that I got in our draft kind of later than I would have thought. This is a player, in my opinion, that has the – if you're drafting – someone like Michael Thomas in the first round, I think Davante Adams is another player at that position, one of the few exceptions that you'd be able to draft in the first round. I drafted him at pick 21, so I guess it was that back end of the second round maybe. So, I mean, I think I got him with my third pick overall, which to me is crazy. But, yeah, a player that you obviously have to invest high capital into, and he's someone that's dealt with injuries, but this season, despite injuries, missing 3 games, is the wide receiver 2. That's insane.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. He looks so good.
He does. And Aaron Rodgers playing at MVP level 2. I have Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams in one of my leagues, and it's literally basically been my team every single week.
Yo, you can literally win. You could ride to the championship with that stack.
That's exactly what I'm doing, boy.
Hey.
But do you want me to keep going? Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to read someone?
I'll take the mic.
Go ahead, cuz.
Pass the rock here. All right, so I touched on Keenan Allen earlier. I think he's He was a great value pick, but he's also been one of the best picks. I don't need to get into it again. He's had 2 games with 19 targets. That's enough said. Justin Herbert's slinging it to him. My next one, though, is Tyreek Hill. Ended up being the number 1 wide receiver throughout week 13. Drafted 22nd in our league, so looks like you took Davante Adams 1 before Tyreek Hill. And
I'll do that again.
Yeah, honestly, well, maybe not. Actually, yeah. I mean, he missed the game, so technically Tyreek Hill's missed 2 games. Yeah, Tyreek Hill's played in all of his games and he's won, but not by much. But he does have 13 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
And
dude.
I think he's probably had at least 2 or 3 called back, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
He's crazy good.
His game against the Bucks, it just kind of really showed you, like, when the Chiefs are at their best, what they're capable of. Like, Tyreek Hill was just burning everyone. He had like 200 yards in the first quarter, some crazy shit like that. Like, it was ridiculous.
I'm sad they didn't just fuel that fire, let him try and hit 400.
Yeah, right? Maybe get 5 touchdowns. I mean, the dude is an animal. It's to me, it's like, which combo? Okay, I actually have an interesting question. Which duo would you rather have going into championship week? Do you want the Chiefs stack of Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, or do you want Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams?
Do you have the Packers schedule?
Because let me go look at it. I just saw the Chiefs were. Go ahead.
The Chiefs play Miami, New Orleans, and Atlanta. So it's 2 tougher matchups. Xavier Howard, he's a cornerback on the Dolphins. He's one of the best corners in the league. He has 8 interceptions this season. Just absurd. No one can really keep up with Tyreek Hill, but they can be stopped. They can be slowed down, as we saw this week against the Broncos. But I do like that Atlanta matchup in the finals.
Are you ready for the Packers matchups?
Hit me, Daddy.
The Detroit Lions, the Carolina Panthers, and the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, well, shit. Give me that all day.
Yeah.
That is a good matchup right there. Wow, that's a really nice matchup.
All of those are phenomenal matchups for the playoffs, for Davante Adams and for Aaron Rodgers.
And Aaron Jones.
Yeah. I think that Aaron's successes, like, all 3 of those just kind of, like, Aaron Jones not so much, but like the unionship between Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers, their success mutually is so tied to both of them. So I'm super excited to see what they do down this playoff stretch, because Davante's been insane.
Yeah, there's so much trust there, and his routes are so crisp. The ball is leaving Aaron's hands before he even breaks from his routes, and it's a perfect throw and a perfect catch almost every time.
2 players at the top of their game, to be honest.
Absolutely.
It's crazy to say since Aaron Rodgers is like 37, but
yeah.
The only other player I had on my best wide receiver list, other than you, I had Keenan Allen and Tyreek as well. I also have Stefon Diggs. We already talked about him. He's just been super consistent.
I had one more. I'll throw him out there. And it is A.J. Brown, who
nice.
has had some moments where he has not done well for you just because of injury. Went out pretty early in the season. A lot of people were giving up on him, but he has come back with a vengeance. The Titans offense is explosive. He came back and had 3 games of 20 plus points in a row. Let me see. When he's had, in the first 5 games he came back, he had 6 touchdowns. He has 8 touchdowns on the season, and he has 8 touchdowns from weeks 5 through 13. So when you miss 4 games and you still get 8 touchdowns, he's averaging over a touchdown a game. It's absolutely incredible. Crazy.
He also, just like watching him play, he's a fun player to watch as well.
Oh, he can just break one anytime. He's got that Tyreek Hill vibe, but he's in a DK Metcalf looking ass body.
Isn't he he's in his 2nd year, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's scary, man.
Yeah, it really is. Maybe it's his 3rd year. 2nd or 3rd.
He's definitely pretty young, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely young. I got a question for you. We didn't talk about this at all, but it's just something I want to hear personally.
Okay, let's hear it.
Shoot. I hope you like making lists because I'm putting you on the spot. I want to hear your top 3 wide receivers in the game right now.
In the game right now.
In the game, not fantasy.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. And if you're listening to, which I know most people probably aren't, I want to hear your top 3 wide receivers as well. Drop them in the comments.
Not fantasy related.
Not fantasy related, just straight up player.
All right. Are you going to give yours too?
I will after you go.
Okay, I'll go. Mine are, I got to go DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, he's had a phenomenal season. That hasn't necessarily always translated to fantasy, but his impact on the game is just, to me, I think he's the best wide receiver in the league. Number 2, it's hard to not go Davante Adams when he's healthy and playing. I feel like I'm forgetting players, to be honest.
What about Julio?
And I was just thinking Julio. I was like, dang, I think I forgot about Julio. But honestly, those are my top 3: Julio, Davante, and DeAndre Hopkins. Probably I would.
Julio's your number 3?
I think I would make Julio my number 2, and then Davante number 3. I mean, Julio is just a freak of an athlete.
I think I have that same exact list, honestly. My number 4 would probably be Tyreek Hill. And then number 5, Keenan Allen. I think he's one of the
our lists are pretty similar.
I'd probably have Michael Thomas next.
Yeah. I honestly kind of align with you on that one. Is there someone like that we're forgetting about?
Somebody that's hurt?
I don't know. OBJ. No, I don't think OBJ can make the top. He wouldn't be top 5 for me.
He's got best hands in the league. I'll say that.
No doubt. Theilen is not a player that I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the league, but not like top 5, of course. But one of my favorite players to watch.
Oh yeah, he's very crafty. Crafty white guy.
Insane too.
Yeah,
for sure.
He really can catch. I think DK Metcalf in a few years is going to be top 3. Just the size and speed he has. He can run every route on the route tree. I know a lot of people think like, oh, you're buying into the hype, but no, he's amazing. Russell Wilson doesn't throw you the ball if you're not amazing.
True.
If you can burn Stephon Gilmore and make an over-the-shoulder catch that everybody's like, oh, that was all Russell Wilson. Bro, if he caught that shit with his fingertips while he was looking over his head in football pads. Like, that is fucking ridiculous.
Dude, DK was one of those players that I was eyeing in drafts, and I just didn't know when or where I should take him. Obviously, like, it's hard to gauge where he would be heading in his second season, but he's proven to be one of the best wide receivers in the league at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. I think we should move on to the rankings, though. Hit them with the rapid fire. Touch on a few players here and there.
All right, I'm going to read the first chunk. At 50, we have Mike Williams. 49, Nelson Aguilar. 48, we have Jacoby Myers. 47, we have Tim Patrick. 46, CeeDee Lamb. 45, Michael Pittman. 44, Michael Gallup. 43, T.Y. Hilton. 42, Curtis Samuel. And 41, Sammy Watkins.
You like T.Y. Hilton at 43?
I kind of do. Yeah, I think T.Y. Hilton is a player that I would definitely consider flexing over some lesser running backs, perhaps. I think the matchup is great. The Raiders aren't playing Jonathan Abrams this weekend either. He's out, so that's a key defensive player on an already weak defensive team out for the game. So,
yeah, I like that.
I like T.Y.
I like that spot a lot because I think he can finish top 30, but he could also be the wide receiver 65.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's a nice in between. He definitely has boomer bust potential. It really just depends on Phillip Rivers.
I want to talk about CeeDee Lamb mainly because he was on my team and my wide receiver 2 for many weeks. And damn, did it feel nice having him at my wide receiver 2 for those weeks where Dak Prescott was playing at a probably unsustainable pace. But drop CeeDee Lamb, I kind of regret it now. I don't know how he finished in retrospect to the wide receiver core tonight, but
I'll let you look it up. Just all the Dallas wide receivers, they all kind of finish the same every single week. They either get you 8 to 12 points, or one of them has a really big game, which is it's usually Amari Cooper. I don't have full confidence in Andy Dalton yet. I think they could honestly they might be a little low, but just the fact that there's no bye weeks this week, there's just a lot of other options I feel that are safer.
Yeah, I think so CeeDee Lamb finished with double-digit fantasy points. Amari Cooper finished with 16.3. Let me look up Michael Gallup. It's really been kind of they've all been pretty. Michael Gallup is the one that's been the most inconsistent, I would say. So I'm curious to see.
He usually plays the most snaps though, so he always has the potential. That's the part I like about Michael Gallup.
21.6 points. So he finished as their leading scorer at the position this week, but they were all sustained, all palatable performances.
Definitely. All right, let's move on to this next bit. Please. We got 40 through 31. At 40, we have Chase Claypool. 39, we have Sterling Shepard. 38, AB. 37, Kiki QT. 36, Cole Beasley. 35, Tyler Boyd. 34, DJ Chark. 33, Brandon Ayuk. 32, DJ Moore. And 31, T. Higgins.
I know Kiki QT is a name that was being thrown around a lot in earlier years. Well, he's not been in the league that long, but I remember last year, like Kiki QT being like a waiver wire wide receiver that you wanted on your squad. So love to see his name back. Should see he had a great week in the absence of Will Fuller, and hopefully he can kind of solidify himself in your lineup heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think his role is pretty much locked. They got rid of Kenny Stills. Randall Cobb's on IR. Kiki QT really opens up the field as a downfield threat. He's got the burners on him. Brandon Cooks, he saw a tough matchup this week. He should see the same this week. So I think Kiki QT will have as many opportunities as he did this week. The player I want to talk about is Cole Beasley. Had an absolute monster game, and kind of the game I was expecting the prior week where he didn't really perform that well. Kind of saved his day on a touchdown throw. But this week they're taking on the Steelers, so it's kind of as soon as you do something good, he's going to do something bad. It's always a what have you done for me lately mindset. And I think you just got to know that Cole Beasley can do it. John Brown's not there. And when John Brown's not there, he's the go-to guy. Gabriel Davis saw some work. He had a pretty long touchdown, I'm pretty sure. But I like his consistency for sure.
Yeah. We saw his consistency without John Brown. So we already know that you can rely on Cole Beasley. All right. At 30, we have Mike
hold up,
Evans.
fam. Let me talk about Brandon. Let me talk about Brandon Ayuk real quick.
Oh, okay.
Because he was definitely somebody I was hesitant on last week because we hadn't seen him and Debo coexist, and Kendrick Bourne just came back. So it was kind of a question mark, but I think that he's definitely trustworthy. Him and Debo both had great games. I still like Debo a little more, but I think Brandon Ayuk going forward is a solid wide receiver to flex play. That's all I got. Take it over.
Okay. At 30, we have Mike Evans. At 29, we have Jarvis Landry. At 28, we have Corey Davis. At 27, we have Devontae Parker. 26, Deebo Samuel. 27, Brandon Cooks. 24, Jamison Crowder. 23, Juju Smith-Schuster. 22, Marvin Jones. 21, Robbie Anderson.
I'll let you go first, man. You got anybody specifically you want to highlight here?
This feels a bit biased because he's on my team. I would love to talk about Corey Davis, though.
Go for it, dude. Suck him off.
Dude, no. To be honest, this next game to me smells classic Corey Davis goose egg game. I am petrified to play Corey Davis. I know that I should be able to trust him, but last time when I started to trust him, he gave me a goose egg on a week, and I'm going into the playoffs, so I don't know whether I can trust Corey Davis or not. What do you think? Can you?
I think you can trust him. Jonnu Smith is hurt, so that's just another. Not that Jonnu Smith's been getting the work.
Yeah,
I think the Jags
he's a playmaker though for them.
Yeah, the Jags definitely are better than their record shows. They can hang on to games. They put up points against the Vikings last week. I think they'll not necessarily make it a close competition with the Titans, but I think they'll put up enough points to kind of push the Titans to get in gear, make Ryan Tannehill make some throws.
Okay.
That's my expert opinion. Expert in quotations.
Damn.
Yeah.
Reporting live from the field.
You feel better about it now or no?
I feel okay about starting Corey Davis. I'm definitely scared though.
I got two players I want to talk about. Oh, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off, man. I'm gonna let you finish.
I got nothing left to say about Corey Davis.
All right. Yeah, this is your second segment. You really need another one?
Dude, no.
All right, here we go. I want to talk about Davante Parker. He's obviously a stud wide receiver. He has the potential to be a wide receiver 1. I was hoping with Tua he would be able to shine a little bit more, but Tua's given him the targets. He's just not seeing the production. They keep throwing these corner fades, and they are terrible balls. Tua cannot throw a fucking fade to save his life. He just zips it in there. There's no arc on it. I think I saw at least 2 or 3 red zone fades go to Davante Parker in the last game, and they were all poorly thrown, and Davante Parker had to make insanely acrobatic, contortionist plays to even get his hands on the ball. So I think as long as Fitzmagic's out and not the starting quarterback, he's going to be down. He's going to have some good games, but I don't trust him as much as I did earlier in the season. And my next player I want to talk about is Jamison Crowder, who has climbed his way back up our rankings. Just dropping shit over here. I don't know if anyone heard that.
But we heard it.
Nice.
It wasn't that
bad. Jamison Crowder, though, now that Sam Darnold is back, I think his outlook is back because Joe Flacco was ruining this man's life. He was not throwing him the ball. He didn't understand how good Jamison Crowder is. And Sam Darnold knows that if I want to have any success, I got to throw it to the one guy who's always open, and it's Jamison Crowder. This Seahawks matchup is a juicy one. The defense is not good. They just lost to the Giants. That alone says all you need to hear. I like Jamison Crowder going forward. All right, moving on to 20 to 11. At 20, we have Tyler Lockett. 19, Cooper Kupp. 18, Chris Godwin. 17, Amari Cooper. 16, Justin Jefferson. 15, Robert Woods. 14, Diontae Johnson. 13, Michael Thomas. 12, Allen Robinson. 11, Stefon Diggs.
I feel like Diontae Johnson has just... It's hard for me to say that I would want to start a different Steelers wide receiver over him at this point. He gets double-digit targets every single week. Big Ben is just looking his way. He's just been super consistent when he has been playing, I should specify. I don't know, man. Diontae Johnson is kind of a beast. I have him in one of my teams going into the playoffs, and I'm super excited to be playing him every week.
I agree. He's a monster. I want to see your take on Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp. Robert Woods has been outperforming Cooper Kupp these past few weeks. I like Robert Woods more than I like Cooper Kupp. Do you feel the same way? I mean, obviously we agreed on the rankings in the end of the day, but
I feel like
just pandering to me.
Not necessarily. I mean, Robert Woods has definitely been playing better more recently. To me, this kind of feels very similar to like the Adam Thielen, Stefon Diggs scenario, where they're both great and you want a piece of either of those players. But if you had to pick one, it would be Adam Thielen. I don't know that this is necessarily that instance, though. On any given week, they both or one of them will be productive. I feel like Robert Woods has been more consistent recently, and I agree with that. I think heading into the Patriots matchup, I'd rather play Robert Woods. But I'd also feel really good about starting Cooper Kupp as well. Cooper Kupp's just a really good player. I mean, same as Robert Woods. So when you just have like solid players at that position, I think they're both feasible options, and I'd feel good about starting either of them.
Yeah.
Where do you I guess we mutually agree that Robert Woods is the better play, but
yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I agree with everything you said.
Season long, who would you rather have?
I think I'd rather have Robert Woods. Oh, I got a question for you. Okay. Somebody in the comment asked, I'm actually going to look that up. Gotta be statistically correct. Talk about one more player while you're at it.
All right. I can't remember the grouping we're in, bro. My mind. We talked about Marvin. No, we talked about Diontae Johnson. I'm living in the past. Justin Jefferson has been balling out. Let me go pull up his stats actually, because he's been finishing ahead of Adam Thielen. I think that he's definitely benefiting from weaker coverage because Adam Thielen's going to get that star corner on him. But I mean, the past 4 weeks, Justin Jefferson has just been super consistent. 20-plus performances in 3 out of the 4 weeks, 17 against the Cowboys. The Bucs is a tougher matchup, but, I mean, you got to feel pretty good about starting Justin Jefferson heading into the playoffs. Do you regret trading him at all?
Not really. It was such a headache for me. Every single week I would start him. He would do nothing, and then I'd bench him, and he'd go crazy. But I am super glad you brought up Justin Jefferson because that's relevant to my question. Sam Rosenbaum, he asked me in a PPR league rest of season. I guess he asked us both. I replied, though. He said, would you rather have Justin Jefferson or Robert Woods?
Ooh.
Let me read you off. Let me read you off the schedule. So Robert Woods has a very nice set of matchups. He plays the Patriots, the Jets, and then the Seahawks. Okay. Patriots, Jets, Seahawks. And Justin Jefferson, let's see, he is playing
the Bucs, Bears, and Saints.
Yes, so 3 very tough matchups.
Dang. Before I heard the matchups, I wanted to say Justin Jefferson, but dude, I'm definitely going to say Robert Woods just based off of matchups.
I felt the same way because they're such similar players. And I made the ranking without that comment in the back of my head. And then I saw the ranking and I thought, damn, what are the fucking odds that they're right next to each other?
Right. That's crazy. Yeah, dude, those matchups just benefit Robert Woods. I think Justin Jefferson's ceiling is higher than Robert Woods, but Robert Woods is just safer. It feels like. I don't even know that that's necessarily true, but it just feels that way. I mean, the numbers kind of show it. You're getting these massive explosions of games from Justin Jefferson, and Robert Woods, he has some of those, but he's just more consistent overall.
Yeah, I agree. All right, man. Take us home.
All right. At number 10, we have Julio Jones. At 9, Terry McLaurin. At 8, Adam Thielen. 7, Calvin Ridley. 6, A.J. Brown. 5, Tyreek Hill. 4, DK Metcalf. 3, DeAndre Hopkins. 2, Keenan Allen. And number 1, Davante Adams. Out of this list of players, I think DK Metcalf, I almost feel kind of nervous about DK Metcalf heading into the Jets matchup. It sounds like too good to be true to me. I feel like this could end up being a Tyler Lockett game, which our rankings obviously don't reflect that, but because DK's been so consistent up until, or he's just more consistent than Tyler Lockett and such a monster. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just like timid. Excuse me.
Man, pass that over here, Chief.
Yeah, dude. I'm timid. Oh yeah, you want some?
Yeah, some COVID. Pass it through the Zoom.
Dude, I think Zoom has the technology now to where you can actually get it.
Dang.
Proprietary knowledge from Zoom.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of scared that like they'll just destroy the Jets so much that I don't even know. This should be a good game for DK Metcalf. I just have skepticism because of my Corey Davis ties.
I could see DK Metcalf just having 2 60-yard touchdowns in the first quarter and not scoring any more points, but then that just being enough.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on Adam Thielen, who has 5 touchdowns in 3 weeks. He's had 70-plus fantasy points in the past 3 weeks. That's just absolutely absurd. He's on a tear right now. I think he's going to just continue rest of the season as the Vikings are on a roll.
Yeah. His schedule definitely is intimidating, but I don't think that – I mean, obviously you're starting him every single week. Last time he played the Bears, he had 2 touchdowns. So
What are you
I'm
gonna
not really
do?
too frightened.
Man, are you okay over there?
I'm coughing, bro. Can't help
you
it.
don't say. Last person
sorry, listeners.
last person I want to touch on is Keenan Allen. I think he'll bounce back against the Falcons. Touched on this with Eckler in the running back video. He's too good not to. They just got their shit kicked in one good time. I think they'll bounce back.
I have one last question. I guess this could be what we end on.
All right.
How many points do you think? Give me a points prediction on Davante Adams versus the Lions.
Oh man.
Or do you want me to give you an over under?
Give me an over under.
30 points. 32 points.
Under. Under. I thought you were gonna give me something realistic.
Sorry, dude. I just think it's that ridiculous. He's literally averaging 26 fantasy points. I think he scores more than 32 points. I guess I was doing that with my frame of how many points he'll score.
Yeah, if you would have said 25, I would have really had to think about it.
25.
Nah, that's too far. It's too gone. Oh. Well, I appreciate 26. Everybody. No, I'm wrapping it up, man. All right.
All right, give us a points prediction, Justin. Come on.
Stop. All right, 24.9. That's how many points he's going to have this week. I'll let you wrap it up. I tried already. You ruined it, bro.
Mine is 36.2. Anyways.
Nobody asked.
Thanks for checking out the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as usual. We appreciate all the support we've been getting. Our next goal is 200 subscribers. We may or may not hit that, but we've already been hitting all of our numbers anyway, so we jacked that number up. My dad also might be listening. My dad found out about the YouTube channel, so if you're listening, Dad, which I can't imagine he is, fucking an hour into the video, no chance.
Damn.
But thank you guys for listening. Leave us a comment if you have any recommendations for what we should do in the off season. We said it at the beginning, we're gonna say it again, but thank you guys for all the support.